Alright guys, welcome to another Thursday's episode of Real Wicked News. I am DJ Rainbow.
I'm Black Waltz.
I was just gonna do your introduction! I'm still reading it anyway.
Do it anyway.
This week we have Black Waltz, who is a horrorcore rapper straight out of the Midwest with his vulgar and disturbing lyrical imaging that drags you deep into the world of his alter ego, Walter Black, a cannibalistic character that roams the streets ridding the world of rapists, racists, and motherfuckers who beat their kids. This is our very talented Black Waltz.
What's up?
Okay, my first question.
Yep.
What does your name mean and how did you get it?
Well, I originally got my name from a video game, Final Fantasy nerd stuff, But to me, it means it can mean dark music. The name Waltz, or the word waltz, also means three. So it's pretty much, to me, it means, the evil three. And with the three thing comes the three personalities, which are Walter Black, which is the guy that he's the normal one, he doesn't like violence and stuff. He's the one that has to clean up the crime scenes. And then you got Black Waltz, who is the murderer, who would murder everyone if it weren't for the Karma Killer, which is the third personality, and he's the one that keeps Black Waltz in check. So it's kind of like the Karma Killer and Walter Black keep Black Waltz in check, make sure he only kills people that are deserving of dying and not just slaughtering everyone.
That makes sense. And
Kind of complicated.
Although, I must be honest, walking around just slaying people would be kind of fun. Yeah, that's what video games are for.
Yeah. Creativeness.
Creativeness, screw that. It's just to alter a bad mood. What were the pros and cons that went through your mind when you decided to become an artist?
Well, when I first became an artist, it was I played drums in a death metal band. I wrote guitars for it too, and keyboards and bass and all that stuff. And that was working with lots of people. Like your whole band, you have to rely on, when are we going to have practice? Oh, it's this day. No, I got to work, blah, blah, blah. You got to work with so many people and around everyone's schedule. And then whenever I decided to, make horrorcore or hip-hop, whatever you want to call it, it's just me. I don't have to rely on anybody. I can just do whatever. I make my own hours. Don't really need to practice much. Just record. Right. So it's a lot easier doing horrorcore than it was being in a band. So I'd definitely say I choose this one over death metal bands, even though I listen to more death metal than I do rap, oddly enough.
So it was more like you had more of a pro list than a con list?
More of a pros going into horrorcore as opposed to metal, black metal, death metal. It's a lot easier. Don't have to rely on anybody.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. What are the differences from performing with your past bands to your horrorcore stuff?
Well, the biggest one, I think, would be, you're not on stage by yourself when you're in a band. And I was kind of tucked away in the back, I didn't really have to say anything, so there was no stage fright there. I also had to lug my drums around, which is a pain in the ass. Gigantic drum set. Take like 30 minutes to break it down and had to put it back up on stage. But yeah, I've only done one show as Black Waltz, but it was fun. It was really fun. A lot easier, but a lot more nerve-wracking. A little bit of stage fright that first concert.
Did you open for anyone notable?
I was on this label, 5150 Records. I'm still cool with all the guys on it, but it was their own little thing, so it was everybody from that label. So it was Ponic 5150, J Nunn, Cuckoo, Mr. Malice, and Seagrim. But I opened for all of them. It was pretty cool. It was in the middle of a field, giant field with a bunch of people there. It was pretty awesome.
That sounds like a lot of fun, but uncomfortably hot. But then again,
It
Southern
was it was
California.
at nighttime, so it wasn't too hot.
Still, my
Yeah,
personal experience, Southern California, even at night, you're in the middle of a field, you're going to be uncomfortable.
yeah.
Has making music ever created conflicts in your life?
Never, except for the whole uh being in a band and trying to figure out when you're gonna practice that kind of shit. But not for horrorcore. It's just I write whenever I want, record whenever. There's no conflicts. I still get to live my life however I want
Well, that's good. Sounds
it.
like you definitely enjoy that part a lot more.
Get to play my video games.
Who doesn't love video games? If you could do anything differently, what would it be and why?
Hmm. I guess I probably would not have rushed my first CD as fast as I did, because I was like, I'm gonna see if I can write rap one day, and I wrote a whole song, and it was pretty good, and people liked it. So I pumped out a CD as fast as possible, and the quality was terrible. And you cannot actually get that CD anymore. That's how much I didn't like it.
There's always a chance to redo it.
Yeah, yep. There's actually a couple songs from that I am redoing for my new one too. So
And when is that coming out?
it will be due out in October this year.
Do you have any other projects you're currently working on?
Well, the Joker has a CD coming out tomorrow that's called Collective Chaos, and it's pretty much like a feature CD. It's him featuring a bunch of other people, and I'm one of them. So I'm going to be on that.
That's exciting. When is that supposed to come out?
It's tomorrow.
Alright, guys, make sure you stick around to see what he's got going on with the Joker. Sorry, random article.
And I haven't even got to hear it yet, so I'm sure it's good though, because he's pretty awesome.
Well, I don't think he'd put out something that would sound bad.
Exactly.
That would kind of fall back on him more so than you.
Yeah, I trust him. I trust him.
Did you have any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals. Xanax. A lot of Xanax. That's probably about it. I gotta not be freaking out when I get up there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. What were the thoughts that went through your head before your first show?
Before my first show, I was pretty much like, holy shit, what am I getting myself into? But then as soon as the music started, it was totally fine. It was awesome. And there was like, I want to say 200 people there for the first show. And there was a bunch of them singing lyrics to my songs, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? That's when I realized people actually liked my stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Like an empowering moment.
Feeling.
There's nothing wrong with that. It shows that people like you, and you should feel pretty fucking proud.
It's a good feeling.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's thinking about getting into the horrorcore genre?
Oh yeah. If anyone does want to get into horrorcore, I would say be yourself. Try to think of something original. Don't just be like, chainsaw, blood and guts, blah blah blah. put some story behind your stuff and some emotion, some feeling. Use some real life stuff in there. Don't just make up zombie stories. You know what I mean?
From personal experience, zombie stories are fun, but
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You just
Um,
gotta be original.
yeah, definitely. Do you have a certain song that you wrote that has the most meaning to you?
Yeah, that song that I sent off to the Joker, it actually deals with a lot of my past and like me watching my mother die on the last day of high school and there's a lot of stuff in the downward spiral I went through with alcohol and drugs and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much the most personal song I've got so far.
That will definitely be interesting to check out. Like, and can you freestyle for us?
Sure.
I demolish these demolished beats, offensive, no apologies. Lobotomies for baby dolls so they can never bother me. No record label spotted me, sicker than a colostomy. Ha ha ha, I'll just stick to my own shit. Waltz 3 and T up, just me and me and me. Three sides not isosceles, scaling three different sides to me. Sorry to get mathematically accurate on you bastards, but I happen to be the baddest at this horrorcore rapping. My last name should be Mathis, but it's not. I'm Walter Black, Black Waltz, and they call him a killer. Three sides of the same mind, off riding the same skillet.
I love it. Very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
So, other than video games and working on music, what are you typically doing?
Sleeping. Play a lot of video games. I watch Netflix, Dexter, Lost. Watch a lot of TV shows.
Sounds like
But
a lot of the
video
similar
games is
genre.
video games is the big one though. That's my all day thing if I'm not making music.
Very nice. Have any video games given you any inspirations other than your name?
Um, yeah, the games like there's zombie games and Resident Evil, and I actually used the music from a Resident Evil movie on one of my songs, Virus. Uh, I also used it from music from a movie. Uh, what's the movie called? Dead Silence for the song Uninvited. But yeah, video games help a lot, especially with the more gory ones. They help with the stories and stuff.
Oh, that definitely explains it.
Yeah,
Just out of my personal curiosity, because it's one of my favorite songs.
yeah.
What was running through your mind when you wrote "Cannibals in the Kitchen"?
The Cannibal's Kitchen. Uh, I pretty much wanted to do like a step-by-step how to cook a dead body, and I actually used my mother's recipe for like beef roast, but I turned it into using people instead through all the seasonings and everything. It's pretty. If you listen to that song like from the middle onwards and don't listen to the chorus, it doesn't even sound like a horrorcore song. It just sounds like a recipe until you get the whole gist of it.
So when are we supposed to be looking for these mixed tapes that you've got coming out?
One of them's out right now. It's called "We Taken Over." It's from the Juggalo Rider Radio. Uh, September 3rd, one's coming out called "Horror Coast to Coast." That's from Straight Jacket Records. And then there's one called "Dark Future" from Future of Sound Entertainment. It comes out in October. It's got Playboy the Beast on it. It'll probably have a lot more awesome people too. I just haven't heard anyone else that's going to be on it yet.
Very nice. That'll be very exciting to get a hold of. Sorry guys, still dealing with some Bernie cheese. You'll excuse me for a moment, please.
Yeah.
So, do you think you're going to take a break after this next CD, or are you going to try to do a couple more performances?
I'm probably gonna start doing more live shows after this album, but I already have my next entire album planned after this one too. So hopefully I can pump that one out pretty quick.
Very nice. Well, definitely keep us updated on
Yeah.
the newest, I guess, would be the best way to put that album.
It's already got a title and a layout and everything. It's gonna be a bunch of threes. It revolves around the number 3 a lot.
Seems like that's just your number is 3.
Yep. Well, it's a waltz is a 3-step dance, or like the Dance of the Dead, Black Waltz. It can mean so many things, but the waltz sticks out with that 3. So I like the number 3. It works really well with everything that I got going on.
Well, from personal experience, odd numbers are awesome.
Smack your finger.
I squished my thumb. Oh. Sorry, guys. This is my clumsy day. Squishing my thumb between a desk and a knee. I feel No, it's similar to the pain of playing video games for too long. Like in that general area. So, what is your latest game obsession?
My game obsession? Right now I'm playing the new Tomb Raider and The Last of Us. The Last of Us is good. That's a good game. I can't wait for the new Batman.
Can we be expecting any songs influenced by that?
Maybe. Quite possibly. It's a pretty cool story they got going on there with some crazy diseases.
Sounds like it has potential. I don't know. I haven't played it.
It's kind of, you ever seen I Am Legend?
Sorry, guys. Side conversation. Anywho. Who would you like, if you could open for anyone, who would it be?
Eminem. Straight up.
That sounds like it could be potentially controversial.
He's my favorite.
And what venue is your dream place to perform at?
Oh, well, down here we got this place called Riverport, or Verizon Wireless Amphitheater or something. They change the name of it all the time. But it's a giant outside venue, which is pretty cool. They have like Ozfest there and whatnot.
That would be awesome to play at.
Yeah. We got this big place called Pops out here too, but I've played there at from my death metal bands. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. How many performances did you do when you were in the death metal band?
No idea. A lot. We used to do them a lot, like every weekend.
Very nice. Sounds like the scene out here.
Yeah.
Alright, for those of you just tuning in, I'm DJ Ninja, and we are interviewing Black Waltz on illninjaradio.com and wickednation.net. So if you have any questions that you want to know about him, feel free to pop them into the chat. So, sorry, my mind went into the blank for a moment. My handy dandy notebook will save me from my blank brain malfunction. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna mute myself for a moment. So feel free to say. Did I really? I don't know. I'm not gonna question anything. How many music videos do you have out?
I just got one right now for the Cannibals Kitchen.
Are you working on any more?
Not currently, but they're in planning.
What one do you think will be the next one we see from you?
It's probably a song that's not out yet. Probably the title track from the CD that's getting ready to come out.
Very nice.
It'll be the main course.
Well, that will definitely be exciting. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the CD is going to be about?
This one's not too much of a concept album. It just deals with some stuff. Just a bunch of horror stuff. Like I got a song. It's step by step what you would have to do with a fresh dead body in every step in order to have it ready to eat. It's called From Grotesque to Gourmet. The main course is about the number 3. It kind of explains that whole thing where I explained my name. It explains all that in the song. It's pretty cool. But it's kind of just random songs. The next one will be more cohesive as a whole. One story.
Give us a little snippet about what that's going to be about.
It'll be split into 3. So the first part of the CD will be songs from Walter. The second half of the CD will be songs from Black Waltz, and the third part of the CD will be songs from the Karma Killer, and it'll be like the whole story with nothing left out.
That sounds very, very intriguing.
Try to explain who I am.
Very nice. Well, I think from just this interview, and you've got several songs about cannibalism, I think that gives everyone a pretty decent idea.
Yeah.
So basically, if anyone was to send you fan art, it just involves 3 and cannibalism.
Yeah. Roman numerals are cool, you know.
Of course you would like Roman numerals.
Final Fantasy, right?
That is exactly what I was hinting at. Sorry, when you said that, I just had the Final Fantasy Roman numerals pop into my head. Alright, so now we are going to open up our fan question portion. So, everyone, flood the chat box with questions. Please. Alright. One up DJ FTFO asks, what brought you into horrorcore?
I would say listening to old Eminem, like his very first CD. Whenever I was little bitty, that got me a lot into the evil side of music. Like '97 Bonnie and Clyde, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much Eminem, I would say. I listened to ICP too a lot when I was younger. I really wouldn't consider them too much horrorcore though. I mean, they have their horrorcore songs, but I don't really listen to too much of just horrorcore. I mean, I love Low Key and stuff like that, but
All I can say is Dark Lotus.
yeah, love Dark Lotus. I like the original though with Mars. Good, that was a good CD.
And we have another question from one of DJ FTFO, and that's, how long have you been in the horrorcore scene?
I've been into horrorcore, making horrorcore since 2008, but I've been making music in general since fifth grade. So I guess that's when you're 10. You're 10 when you're in fifth grade, 10 or 11.
Something like that. I don't know.
I've been doing music for most of my life.
When you sit down to make music, do you also do your instrumentals, or do you just focus on the lyrics and someone helps you with the instrumentals?
If I do my own instrumentals, which I do some, I don't do all of them, I'll make the entire instrumental before I start writing any lyrics at all. And then, a lot of them I just get the instrumentals from people like Demolish Beats or Noble Beats or Alchemy of Audio. I'll get beats from them, and their beats give me, it paints a picture in my brain from whenever I hear it, and that's what the song will be about. So whatever it paints in my head.
Very nice. So you're one of those writers that has to hear the instrumentals before you can tie lyrics to it?
I can write lyrics and then write an instrumental over it. I've done that before. It's just a lot easier to do it the other way, I think.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. If you could base an album off of any video game, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Hmm. I would probably say Final Fantasy VII. It would be really hard to write a CD about that game, but that one, because it's the first RPG I played, and it's kind of the basis around every other video game that I play since. I actually heard of there's a CD called Black Materia that's actually a bunch of rappers that rap to music from Final Fantasy VII. It's pretty interesting.
Honestly, I'm not that surprised that you said Final Fantasy VII.
I actually have an instrumental it's made out of the fight music from that game. That's a beat. I'll probably end up making a nerd song out of that.
Yes. Nerd songs are awesome. Little Miss Wicked Country Girl asks, what was your first kind of music when you started?
When I started making music, I would say like Korn, Slipknot, because like Slipknot's "Sick," the song "Sick." That was the first song I learned how to play on drums all the way through. So yeah, I'd probably say more like new metal, like Slipknot, Korn, Limp Bizkit, all that old stuff.
The slightly mild version of
Yeah,
metal.
yeah. And then it slowly progressed. It was that, and then black metal, and then death metal.
One of DJ FDFO asks, what is your most favorite song that you have recorded?
um, I would probably say I like Let's Eat. The newest Let's Eat was fun. Got to work with Opium from Kansas City and Jason Booth. That's the second song that we all did together. So it was pretty cool getting them back together again for another song. And it's a revamp of one of my old songs.
That's gotta be odd for you to hear.
Yeah.
Let's just go from one genre to another and see how it sounds. Makes perfect sense.
It's easy jumping from death metal to horrorcore though, because it's like the same lyrical, like all the same stuff's going on in the songs. You know what I mean? That same disturbing imagery.
The lyrical concept is the same, just the vocals and the instrumentals are just a little.
Yeah.
What's one of the best concerts you've been to?
I got to see the Acacia Strain with Psyopus, Job for a Cowboy. I can't remember who else was there. All Shall Perish was there. That was a pretty awesome concert. I also got to see Mudvayne when they still had their face paint on, and Slipknot.
I don't regret asking that question.
I also got to see Dimmu Borgir once. And the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. And oddly enough, the bass player for that band, his name's Philip Lockett, he was the bass player for my black metal band. My band Invictus. He was our bassist for I would say probably a month. And then I see him like years later in one of my favorite bands, like, what the fuck? That was weird.
I bet you and whoever you told about that was in your band are probably kicking yourselves in the ass about that.
It's pretty cool though. It's good for him.
One of DJ FTFO asks, will you ever be going on tour?
Oh, I hope so. If I get enough money together, that's the first thing I'd be doing is going on tour. Even if it was a little one, you know?
Tour is a tour, as long as you get your name out.
Yeah.
Who is one band that you would love to do a collaboration with?
The Acacia Strain. I think that would be awesome. Because, you know, if you listen to the background of my songs, you can hear me doing death metal vocals in there. I think I could do a collaboration with them and not even make it rap.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see if you guys would be able to work out a rap with Acacia Strain. That would be intriguing. If you were to tour in another country, where would you go?
Japan. Definitely.
And why do you pick Japan?
Because I would like to go to Tokyo. Really bad. That's like one of the only places in the world I would want to go, that or Hawaii.
If you had a request to go to Florida and Texas, would you?
Definitely. If I had the funds to back it up. Yeah.
Well, guys, buy his stuff so he can get out there. But that's the best I can suggest. Or just randomly send him money. That would work too.
I'll do a Kickstarter video.
That would work. Come on, guys. I can hear the messages going off. Ask more questions.
I see one. It says, when were you in your first actual band?
Well, thank you.
It's, I was in 8th grade when I was in my first band. Yeah, 8th grade. And then we played a show, started playing shows in 9th grade, and so on, until I could be in metal bands.
Yeah, I've heard metal bands are not the easiest to be in, especially with the strain it puts on your bodies.
Yeah, definitely. There's times after I got off stage that I could barely walk because of the bass drum pedals. That stuff wears you out quick.
Double bass?
Yeah, definitely. I remember one of the first shows I played as Torture the Psyche was my old death metal band. As soon as I did the 4 count on my snare drum and pushed the bass drum pedal, it broke right then and there, right when we started playing. And I was like, fuck. And some dude just happened to have an extra little bar that connects the pedals, and everything went good after that. He just happened to have the one thing that I needed.
That's odd, but very lucky. Megan T asks, can we expect better music than, or I don't really know what that word's supposed to be, than ICP and some other people's newer music, and when can we expect the first album?
The first album's actually already out. You can get it off my website for free. You just gotta click on the CD cover. I would say that yes, I'm gonna make better music than the Mighty Death Pop, because I can't stand behind that CD at all. I just can't. Love ICP, but come on, guys.
And One Up DJ FTFO asks, when will your new CD be available for pre-order?
It should be in October. There's not a set date. You know, it could be early November, but I'm pushing for October.
Skavich asks, what is your favorite brand of drums?
Tama drums, Sabian cymbals, Roland electronics, Iron Cobra pedals.
And as for the link to the website, we will definitely be giving that out momentarily. In fact, I am working on that right now, so you guys have the link. Do you know any other instruments other than drums?
Yeah, I can play guitar, bass, keyboards. I was originally going to play the trumpet when I was a kid, but decided to play the drums instead. I'm glad I did that.
How? What?
In my school, in 5th grade, they test you on every instrument. They test you and see how good you are. And they said that I was good at the trumpet. I was like, okay. So then he was like, here, I'm going to test you on the drums. And he told me to do some little shit, and I did it perfect. And he was like, I have to switch to the drums now. So.
You got lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I only played in school band for like 2 months, and then I quit. Because it wasn't drums, it was the xylophone. And I wasn't going to play the xylophone.
You don't want to make the pretty pinging sounds? Come on, who doesn't love the pretty pinging sounds?
I can still totally play it. It's just like a piano, too. Same exact thing. I think they sound cooler when they're made out of wood, though.
Yeah, wood instruments generally tend to have a better sound.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also the free song "This Is Horrorcore," the one that's featuring Low Key. You can get at horrorcoremagazine.com for the free download. I'm pretty sure it's right on that front page too.
Yeah, it is. And for those of you who are checking out his website, I definitely suggest getting that track. It sounds amazing.
It's on YouTube also, just for listening.
One Up DJ FTFO asks, so how excited were you when you got asked to do the interview?
That was the first interview I've ever done. Well, like video interview anyway, so I was pretty excited. That's pretty cool. Never actually used this webcam before.
Oh, we took your webcam virginity. Yay! Are there any game releases that you're looking forward to?
Batman comes out on my birthday.
That part cool. Not a big Batman person though.
Oh, really? I love Batman. Batman.
I'm sorry, I'm a Marvel girl.
Yeah.
Yep. All for Marvel.
Oh, yeah, the Kingdom Hearts collection's coming out. I know that makes me sound like a super nerd because it's got Disney shit in it, but that game is fucking awesome.
If it's well, it's Kingdom Hearts. That means the Nightmare Before Christmas is going to be involved, which just automatically makes it badass.
Well, it's a remake of the first three games for PlayStation 3. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Megan T says, just listen to Virus and just gotta say I love it.
Thank you, thank you. That sample in the beginning of that song was actually stuck there, so I had to make my lyrics fit that sample in the beginning. Because, that sample's actually talking about the zombie virus from Resident Evil. She's talking about, a virus getting released on the world, but I turned it around and made that virus me.
One up FDFO asks if he can have your hat.
No. This is a one of a kind, actually. I made this myself with whiteout. Except for this. This is stitching. I eat people. It's the only one there is. But in the future, I may be selling some hats like these because a lot of people have been asking me if they can get them. So
Well,
that may be something in the future.
I definitely vote on you making those hats.
Yeah.
I would walk around in that hat, and I'm not a hat person. FTFO asks, what kind of game system do you have?
PlayStation 3. I also have a PlayStation 2, and there's probably a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo downstairs somewhere, all packed up. But I love my PlayStation 3. I can play PS1 games on it also.
Or you, oops, sorry, button hitting. Or you could just get a PS1. Everything is better when you have a PS1.
Yeah, I already got some games too, some old school ones too.
First game you play on it better be The Legend of Dragoon. That's all I can say.
The first game I played on my PlayStation was Parasite Eve. My PlayStation 1 a long time ago.
Alright, guys, thank you for. Oh, nope, my bad. Little Miss Wicked Country asks, what are your 3 top games?
Oh, okay. Final Fantasy VII, Kingdom Hearts 2, Legend of Dragoon. Definitely.
Very nice list. Although, my personal opinion, The Legend of Dragoon should be up higher.
Yeah.
Because the game is so infuriating. Alright, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another one of our awesome interviews. Keep an eye out. We will be keeping you guys updated on what's going on with his new releases. Also, check out his website to also get a better idea of what's going on with them. And have a nice Thursday. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to see Full Metal Friday.
Later, guys.